Welcome back, or welcome to Whip Craic. In this video, I'm going to try and convince you that I, some know nothing on YouTube, made a better choice than professional motoring journalist James May. This is my 2007 Fiat Panda 100 horsepower, and this is the Panda May should have bought, but didn't. Instead, he went for this Fiat Panda Eleganza on a 56 plate, running a paltry 60 horsepower. But why did I even buy this Panda anyway? Well, it was early 2023, my eldest daughter was coming 17 and I needed something to teach her in. So I decided to sell my beloved Audi TT and get something more suitable for the task, but still fun. So come with me momentarily back to February 2023.
Manor Park, Ilford, 7 Kings, Goodlays.
The other car on my list was a Ford sport car, but this one was dodgy AF, so it was back on the train and over to West London. What kind of idiot buys a car with no fuel and two dodgy cars? This kind. So this is what I bought. 07 Fiat Panda 100 horsepower. She needed 2 new tyres. Somebody's been hacking at them. At the front there. But yeah, we're getting rid of the abort badges because it's a bit too pretentious. Where was it there? But I'm happy with the price. 85,000 miles. She needs bigger wheels. She needs a good detailing, a bit of polishing. I think she'll scrub up alright. I wanted a blue one or grey or black rather than red, but this is really warming on me. A few wee graphics down in there. Not my usual cup of tea, but they do look quite good with them. A few wee chips, if you can see that. Couple of wee dings, hopefully to be sorted, but just where they are on the line, I'm not quite sure how we'll go about that. There we are. But they're really awkward size. 195 45 15s. These wee Kumos on the back aren't bad, but yeah, couldn't find anywhere you could fit them today, and obviously we've a ferry to catch tomorrow, so I really needed it done today, and these guys at Just Tires and Woodley sorted us out. A trip over the water for me isn't complete without a visit to Caffeine and Machine. Unfortunately, it was so early, there was nobody else around, and the place was barely open. If you want to know what it's like when it's busier, check out this video on my channel.
Back it up, back it in.
Let me begin. But let's get back to why I made the better choice with this than James May did with this. Internally, the Eleganza and the 100 HP are similar, though where May's choice has a city button that increases the power assisted steering, the 100 HP comes with a spot button that firms up the steering and increases throttle response. Which of those seems more fun? James's option came with these, in my opinion, garish blue seats. Side note, you should really check out Raceometer Garage and their brilliant videos, especially this one where he buys James's actual Panda. Back to the seats, and the 100 HP came with a very mindful, very demure dark grey. Although here you can see me upgrading mine to seats from an Abarth 500. You can see here from the rears that they're much more tasteful than the Eleganzas. I don't think the Abarth seats look totally out of place, although I do want to cover up the writing. The Eleganza seems to have came with roof bars, although this was an option on the 100 HP. Mine didn't come with any. Although I did buy these horizontal bars, which in my opinion look better and are more practical. Continuing on the outside, just look at the body kit front and back, the classier stock tinted windows, and the way she sits on bigger 15-inch wheels and lower suspension, a setup unique for the 100 HP. I defy anyone to tell me this Eleganza looks better. But it's here in the engine bay where the real difference is. This is the 16-valve 1.4 litre variant of Fiat's tried and tested, fully integrated robotised engine, pushing out 99 brake horsepower or 100 f.i.r.e. for our metric friends, which is good for a 0 to 62 in a blistering 9.5 seconds, topping out at 115 miles per hour. The Eleganza makes do with the 1.2 8-valve with 60 brake horsepower and a 0 to 62 in 14 seconds and top speed of 96 miles per hour. Its engine is mated to a 5-speed gearbox where the HP gets 6. But don't just take my word for it. May's one-time colleague Richard Porter, a writer on Top Gear and now one half of the fantastic Smith and Sniff podcast with the late break show's Johnny Smith, bought a 100 HP just before I did and wrote about it in Evo magazine. He was influenced by his colleague Richard Meaden's long-termer, which was the subject of a 2007 article in the magazine where it got 4.5 stars. In a 2023 article for Haggerty, Anthony Ingram calls the 100 HP probably the best car Fiat has made this century. Andrew Frankel, writing for Goodwood, heaps praise also. In fact, I can't find a bad review of this car. If none of that convinces you, maybe the man himself can. In his 2010 book, Car Fever, a collection of his newspaper articles, May begins saying he doesn't understand all the fuss with the 100 HP Panda. But he is alone in this while his office colleagues at Top Gear are raving about how good it is. Later in the article, he discloses he bought the Eleganza literally the day before the 100 HP hit the showrooms. He ends the article admitting he chose badly. This is a totally un-James May thing to ask, but if you've got this far, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It really does help. Thank you. I think any Panda is a great car. Along with the Beetle and the Mini, it's a true car of the people. But as I've explained in this video and summarised here, the 100 HP for me is the cream of the crop. Although depending on their road, you could tempt me with a Panda 4x4. But on this one in Wales, I was glad I had my little 100 HP. More of that in a future video. Thank you for watching. And if you're feeling bad for me, don't worry, at least he got to drive one.